into our favorite
Before we
Mania
get into violins.
matches. I fucking love the violin, dude. Oh my
Almost
god,
again.
it gets me so
It
hyped,
gets
dude.
people going.
um okay, let's see. Mine's not in order, but I mean maybe
Oh,
should I
there's
go
no
in
order.
order of what WrestleManias?
If you want, whatever floats your boat.
Okay. Some of these, maybe I'll go with the two that everyone already knows, or at least if you pay attention to what I have to say on the show
Yeah.
most of the time, then you already know these matches. So, Razor Ramon versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 10, the ladder match for the Intercontinental title, one of my favorite matches of all time. One of my other favorite matches of all time, Chris Benoit versus Triple H versus HBK at WrestleMania 20 for the World Heavyweight Championship.
I can't wait to watch that in the next
Oh my god,
couple
so
hours.
good.
Oh my god.
I think those,
19, 20, 21, 22,
I know you're
23.
well, hey, at least it's great that you have that excitement, because I mean it's not like they're short shows. Like I feel like you kind of
No,
need to get excited, so you're like, I'm ready for 4 hours of wrestling.
they are 3 to 4 hour shows.
Yeah, I know. Well, and then they keep getting longer.
And they're just
Recently
gonna
they've been
get
getting like
longer.
5, and then they were like, we're gonna do two days, and now it's like 10 hours of wrestling. Is like, okay.
So much.
um okay, let's see another one for WrestleMania 20. I would say Eddie Guerrero versus Kurt Angle. Very good.
That was a really good one.
Very good match for both of them. Very great showing for Eddie Guerrero. And yeah, that led to one of my favorite WrestleMania moments at the end of WrestleMania 20. So,
I would go in no order. Taker, Triple H with HBK as special ref at 28.
mhm, mhm.
That isn't just a favorite match because of the match itself, but same night as the Rock thing, where my best friends
Yeah,
and everything.
yeah,
That was the one of the few times that I invited all them over, and every single one of us were going crazy. That like with the false finishes and the turns of HBK kicking Undertaker with the Sweet Chin Music
mhm.
and different things like that. Like you were so emotionally invested. Like, oh my god! Like if there's anyone that could dethrone the Undertaker's streak, it's going to be Triple H. And oh my god, of course it's DX too. But like
Yeah,
so it was that element, and then to have that moment at the entrance ramp where they're
yeah.
all kind of like that is just an iconic moment that it's the passing of the torch of there's a new era. We're not doing this for much longer.
Mhm.
So I love that. And then what was the other one I have here in my notes section? Matches TLC 1. It's the one match that I show to every friend of mine who isn't really a wrestling fan, but I want them to watch wrestling because yes, it's a TLC match. It's extreme and hardcore and everything, but if there's any tag team that knows how to tell a story in the ring with weapons or no weapons, it is the 3 tag teams in this match with the Dudleys, Edge and Christian, and the Hardys. So
That was one of mine too.
it just that match I could rewatch every day and would not be upset about it. And
Yep.
I'm so excited to actually have a day where I drive to one of my longer fish routes and listen to Matt Hardy go through that on his podcast. I'm very excited for that.
I think that's also one of the most like famous WrestleMania clips of Jeff hanging from the titles, like,
Hey, we're trying
and
the
then being
ladder.
speared. I feel like that's one of the most recognizable clips
Everyone,
of
yeah,
WWE history. Like you might not even have been alive for it. Maybe you haven't seen it, but you definitely know that it was a good match.
yeah.
Um Let's see. I would say, okay, so one of my other ones, I talked about it even recently, Bray Wyatt versus John Cena at WrestleMania 36. Very untraditional match, but so cool and so unique. Um and they did a really good job with it. I feel like, where, some people might not love it, and especially cuz it wasn't like a real match. I just felt like it was really cool, and it just fit Bray Wyatt so well, and John Cena just embraced it. So like it worked really great, and I don't know, I feel like it's a very memorable match
I'd
because of all of
agree.
that.
I'd agree with that.
Um Another one, Becky Lynch versus Charlotte versus Sasha Banks, for the first ever women's main event at WrestleMania 32. Amazing. I
Oh,
mean, 3 of the 4 horsewomen, And the fact that they were the first ever women's main event at Mania, it like still gives me chills.
It was
So
Ronda that was main event, not Sasha.
I thought it was Sasha. No, this one's Sasha. Mania 32.
32 is Sasha, but they didn't. Sasha didn't main event the first one.
What do you?
Sasha wasn't in the main event of the first ever main event women's triple threat.
Oh, I thought that was the first. Wait, what? Wait, it wasn't the first ever. The other one, Becky. That one was Charlotte, Ronda, and Becky's
Yeah,
35.
that's the one that main evented for the
Oh, I
first
thought it was
time.
Becky, Charlotte, and Sasha.
They didn't main event Mania. That main event that year was Roman and Triple H.
Are you sure?
I am 1,000% positive because Shane McMahon plopped to his own death from a Hell in a
Oh,
Cell. That
I
same
thought
one.
that was the first ever. Well, anyway,
No,
that's one of them. And then Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania
I mean that
38.
one was absolutely incredible.
I know that people like the Hell in a Cell match better, but I feel like that one was great, but I feel the shock factor, the excitement, the energy between both of them, but especially with Cody, I think that just like tops Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell is just different because of, Cody's injury and Seth's
Yeah,
trolling with the black and yellow polka dot. So like there's a different level there, but I think 38 was
yeah,
WrestleMania
I would
38 was
agree.
better.
And then my favorite WrestleMania match of all time is HBK Kurt Angle. This
Mm,
is probably the best technical match WWE put on in a very long time at that point. And when I rewatched as a kid,
mhm,
I didn't understand why I loved it. I had when my friend and I would watch it and he's, watching it just like casual, whatever, but my eyes were glued to that
mm.
television. And anytime that happens with me, I know that something special is there. I may not know what it is, but
Yeah,
I feel it. And something there like you knew that you were watching two masters in their craft.
yeah.
And like that's a dream match in itself to have. So I mean that's just a favorite one of mine. What's in you mentioned one that I liked. Oh, the Undertaker AJ Styles, just the fact that I never
Mm,
thought that would ever happen. And then to have that be Undertaker's like I'm counting that as his last match.
yeah,
I don't know what
yeah,
happened in Saudi Arabia, but not here.
yeah.
Um, so those yeah, those would be my favorite ones. And Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, Batista was incredible because
Hmm.
obviously I may have had my jaw on the floor for the Undertaker loss, but it was picked
I
right back
walk
up.
for miles inside this pit of danger. So good.